I'm excited about the information I'm about to share with you because it has helped so many clients that we've worked with over the years to put their IRS problem behind them and get a fresh start. If you haven't filed your tax returns, there is a way to resolve the issue. So let's talk about it. First of all, who I am. I'm an enrolled agent. My name is Jim Flaus, and I work with taxpayers representing them before the IRS to resolve their tax issues, settle their debt, end their stress. And I'm licensed in all 50 states. I work largely with individuals and with small business taxpayers who may be falling behind on income taxes or on their payroll tax filings or payments. So let's look at what's called compliance. Compliance is the very first step you need to get into in order to fix your IRS problem. What is compliance? Well, compliance means if you haven't filed returns, you need to get returns filed up to the last 6 years. Maybe you haven't filed for 15 years. I've had clients who've not filed for 15, 20 years. Well, to get compliant, you just need to file the last six. That's the federal rule. Now, the state rule's a little different. In fact, states play completely differently. We'll talk about that in a minute. But compliance is important because if you don't know what your ultimate debt is to the IRS, you can't fix it. You can't solve a problem unless you know what the problem is. And with the IRS, the problem is how much do you owe? Don't worry about the potential debt here. Don't sweat that. I've had people who filed returns 3, 4, 5 years old and find out they would have been due a refund. But guess what? They lost the refund because they filed after the 3-year period in which the IRS is obligated to pay you out that refund. You may be due a refund. You may have to pay. It doesn't matter. Get them filed. Not filing is a criminal offense. Let's get you compliant so we can fix your problem. Let's also talk compliance at the state level. I mentioned that the IRS wants a 6-year load of returns filed. States are not so. The states may not have any statute of limitations in terms of when you can file or how long they can collect for. What you can do, however, is minimize with the state what you might owe by proactively entering into a voluntary disclosure where you will go ahead and make the state aware of some tax obligations you have by filing a certain number of years and get an agreement on their part to forego the other years, just so that we can get the process started. It varies by state. States are generally more aggressive than the IRS when it comes to taxes. So you do want to look at the state issue as well. What does compliance mean in terms of payments? It means you should be current with your withholdings. In other words, if you're an employee, make sure your employer is withholding enough so that you, excuse me, so that you have enough taxes withheld to meet your obligation when you file this year's tax return. So yeah, I'm talking about the return you're filing next April. Maybe not even this April, but next April, if it's early in the year. Get current on your current withholdings. Also, make sure you're filing quarterly estimated payments. Now, what are those? If you're self-employed or you have income where there is no withholdings being done because you're not an employee, you're expected to pay as you go. And many taxpayers will say to me, why is that important? I've never paid quarterly before. Well, now that you're in the scopes of the IRS, you will find that they highly value current estimated payments. The IRS does not understand good faith. You know, there's been a good faith defense in the past where the IRS would elect not to penalize people for filing late or elect not to charge interest in the cases where maybe information wasn't totally correct, but the taxpayer meant to file correctly. All that's gone now. There is no good faith defense. Just get the returns filed, get current on your current payments. Frankly, the IRS values you being current on this year's taxes more than they value you start paying on taxes 3 or 4 years ago. Why? Because they know if you're paying current taxes, then they can probably trust you to pay prior year taxes as well. If you have any questions, you've got, let's say, several years of returns that you haven't filed, or you don't know what to do to get your record keeping together, you don't know what the upshot of all this will be once you file, contact us. You can download my free report on how to end IRS problems. Just go to bit.ly/end IRS problem. And you can also contact me by phone or by email. They're listed here on the screen. Thank you for watching. If you have other questions, please contact me. Feel free to reach out. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. For now, so long.